Alright, what's good people? Luhamfm here. So today we'll be talking about pathfinders. Yeah, pathfinders, they are a set of tools which allow you to quickly manipulate different shapes and strokes to create more complex shapes without even having to redraw them. Alright, so I'll be showing you guys how to use the different tools under this Pathfinder. So once you get your CorelDRAW open, before you can be able to access the Pathfinder, you must select two or more objects together. Alright, so I will just draw a square now. Okay, so I'll give this a color. I'll click and drag. While still holding it, then I right click to make a duplicate for it, or I can easily hit Ctrl D on my keyboard to have a duplicate. So I'll overlay it like this, and I'll also select a different color for it. Alright, so before the Pathfinder 2 can appear, we have to have two or more shapes or objects selected. So I have to highlight these two rectangles here. Alright, so when I have them highlighted like this together, you can see on the Windows bar, this place here are your Pathfinder. From here, which is combined down into create boundary, all these are your Pathfinder. So we'll be looking at them one after the other. We're talking about what they do and how you can apply them to your graphics. So if we hover our cursor on the first one, which is combined, you can also see its shortcut, which is Ctrl L, and it got a little note which says it combines objects into a single object with common properties. So basically what this is saying is that it will combine these two shapes that are here now while leaving their intersect trimmed off. That is the intercept, that means the point at which this square and this other square meets, which is this side here. This is their intercept. So what this combined tool will do is that it will join the two shapes together while trimming out their intercept, which is this place here. Alright, let me show you now. So have it highlighted like this, then we come over to combine, then you click on combine. You can see these two shapes now, they are now one, but their intercepts, that is where the meat is being trimmed off. And you can see that when I combine them, the end results of the shape will take the property of the one on top, which is this yellow square now. So when I combine them, you see that the combined end result is having yellow to take the property of the one above. So what the combine to do is that it will combine both of them while leaving the intercept, which is this one here, trimmed off. Alright, you can do that with other shapes. So let me insert a circle. Okay, let me give it a color. You can also duplicate this, Ctrl D, then I place it overlap. So just like the way it did for the square, it will also do for this circle. It will combine these two shapes together while trimming off their intercept, that is where the two shapes meet. So once we have them highlighted, we head over to our combine tool again. I'll click on combine. You can see the two shapes now are one, but the intercept, that is where they meet, is being trimmed off. Alright, so that's that for the combine. So we'll move on to the next one. So let's start with this triangle. So the next one here is called weld. From the notes there, it says it combines objects into a single curved object with a single fill and outline. So weld is just basically merging two shapes together. Just the way you place them, it will just join them together and they will become one. Alright, so I'll be showing you how you can do that now in a bit. So once I have this two square highlighted, I'll just go to my word, and you can see it just joined two of them together and they are one. I can also do that with my circle. You can see. Let me duplicate this and I head over to word. You can see they are now one now. So you can do this with multiple circles and multiple triangles. So let me try multiple circle. So I have this circle now, so I will duplicate it. So basically what I'm doing is that I'm duplicating it round, so to be as a form of curves. Yeah, just like this. So when I merge this now together to join all these shapes into one using the word tool, so I'll have them highlighted, then I click on the word. You can see it is now a combined object, now a combined shape. Alright, so let's try another thing with the triangle. So to insert a triangle tool, you come over to your toolbar and select this polygon tool. If you don't have the polygon tool selected on your toolbar, you can hit this plus icon here, then you look for where you see the polygon tool, then you click the check mark. You can see mine is already checked, that means it is on my toolbar. So once you are done, you head over to your toolbar and click on it. So you draw a polygon, then you reduce the side, you reduce the side into 3 to get a triangle. Yeah, so you can adjust this a bit. Alright, so these are our triangle. Let's give it a color. So what we'll do now, we'll duplicate this triangle, duplicate it also again. Yeah, I think it's okay. So what I want to do now, I want to insert a rectangle, but a slim but straight rectangle. So I'll click on my rectangle tool and I'll draw. I'm reducing the width while increasing the height, so it will look more of a stick. So I want to align this in the middle, so I'll highlight all my triangle. If I click on P to put them in the middle, you can see that they are overlapping each other while staying at the middle, which I don't want. So I'll hit on Ctrl Z now. So what I'll do now is to group them so they'll seem as one. You can do that by right clicking and selecting group here, or you hit on the shortcut which is Ctrl G to group the object. Now the objects are one, so when I hit on P on my keyboard, all the objects together will be on the middle of the page. So when I'm done, I can right click and ungroup, or I click Ctrl U on the keyboard to ungroup them. So as they're in the middle now, I also want to align this rectangle and insert in the middle. So I'll hit on P, but I want it at the bottom, so I'll just drag it down here just like this. Then I would like to adjust this triangle up a little bit here, then I drag this like this. So once we highlight everything now, we head over to our word tool and click on it. Yeah, you can see they are both joined together now to one big shape. So just give this a dark green color and we have ourselves a little tree. So this Pathfinder tools can help stimulate your work faster and increase your design process. So we'll head over to the next tool. Let me insert a rectangle again. So I'll duplicate it and give it another color. Alright, so when I have both of them highlighted like this, we'll come to the next one here, which says trim. So what trim will do is it will trim out the meeting point of the rectangle or the shapes that are selected. So the meeting point of these two shapes selected is here. So once I hit on trim, it will trim out that meeting point from the object that is at the top. That means it will trim out this meeting point here from this other shape here, which is the one at the top. Alright, so let's see. So you can see now when I move this, that's trimmed off their meeting point and it's off like this. So to make you see it better, let me do it like this. Let me put this at the middle, reduce the size of this one and put it in the middle as well. Okay, so you can see when I hit on P to put this at the middle, it is not showing the shape because it's behind the first shape that is here. So to fix that, you just right click and go to order, then you click on front of page, so it's bringing the shape back to the front. Alright, so when I have two of them highlighted here and I click on trim, it will trim out the smaller square inside from the bigger one outside, just like this. You can see it has trimmed out this small square from this bigger one here. Okay, the same way you can also try this with an ellipse. Let's give this another color and place it at the middle. Let's reduce this one and also place it at the middle. So when we highlight the two of them like this and click on trim, you can see it trim out the smaller ellipse or the smaller circle from the big one, so we have a kind of a donut shape. Alright, so that is that about the trim tool. So the next one here is, let me highlight this together. So the next one after the trim is called the intersect. From the small note there, it says it will create an object from the area where two or more objects overlap. So what this is basically saying is that where two or more objects are overlapped, this intersect will create an object from the area where they are overlapped, that is their meeting point, their intersect. It will create an object from that area. So let's see. You can see it trimmed out the meeting point. So basically what this intercept is doing is that it's trimming out only their meeting point, that is only the part where both of them meet, which is this side. This is their intercept. So when I have them highlighted like this and I click on intersect, it will remove only their intersect and bring it out. So let's see, you can see now only their meeting point while still keeping the two shapes still intact. Alright, let me try this with a circle. So I have a circle here and I have another one here. Let me give this a color. Alright, so this is the intercept of the both circle. So when I highlight both of them and click on intercept, it will bring out the intercept, which is this, just like this. Let's try this with more objects. Let's say 4 circles and you highlight them together and click on intercept. You can see it trimmed out where they meet. Their meeting point is being trimmed out between these 4 objects. So that's that about the intercept. The intercept will trim out where the meeting point of 2 or more objects, where they meet, it will trim them out. Alright, so we'll head over to the next one. Come back to our square. We highlight them again. You can see the next one. The next one here says simplify. And you see simplify, we trim overlapping areas among objects. So what simplified does basically is that it trims two or more objects together. That is, two or more objects which are overlapped, to trim them together, unlike the trim tool that will just trim one part of an object just like this. If you use the simplify tool, it will trim two or more. Let's say we have this two square here and there's circle on top of them like this, and we want to trim. If we highlight this together now and use the normal trim tool, you can see that only one of the square is being trimmed using just the trim tool. But if we have everything highlighted and we click on simplify, what will do that it will trim both of the shapes. You can see it trimmed both of the shape from their intercept, that is where they meet. It trimmed it from there. So that's that about the simplify tool. It trim multiple objects together, combined together, unlike the normal trim that will just trim one object from the other. So simplify tool will trim multiple objects combined together to give a more complex one. So let's head over to the next one. Let me insert a rectangle, give it a color. Alright, so once I have this highlighted together, the next one here says front minus back. What this basically does is that it removes the back object from the front one. So you can see from these two images highlighted, this one here is the back image and this is the front one. So it will minus the back image from the front one. Alright, so let's see that. So when you click on it, you can see it removes the front image out of the back one. You can see this is the front image and this is the back one. So when highlighted together and you click on front minus back, so it's removing the front image from the back one. Alright, you can also try that with circle. Let's give it a different color. When you highlight both of them together and then you click front minus back, you can see it's removing the front image from the back one. To remove the front image from the back one, okay, so we head over to the next one, which is just the opposite of the one we just talked about, which is back minus front. So back minus front, instead of removing the front from the back one like we did in the first place, this one will remove the front object from the back object. Like this one removes the back object from the front object, but this other one is doing the reverse. It will remove the front object from the back object, just like this. You can see it's removing the front one from the back one. The same way also, you can try this with an ellipse or a circle. You can give it a color, give it another color. Then when you do back minus front, it's giving the opposite of the previous one. Let me make this align, then try it one more time. So that's that. The back minus front remove the front object out of the back one. So we come to the last tool here. So the last tool here is create boundary. Create boundary, from here it says that it creates a new object that surrounds the selected area. So what this tool basically does is that it just merges, or it just wears the outline of the shapes which are combined together. So once I click on this create boundary, it will just merge their outlines together. As you can see, it's merging only their outlines together. and you can do this with multiple shapes and multiple objects. So let's say we have an ellipse also, give it a color, just add, duplicate them around. So once we have them highlighted, I'll click on create boundary. What we'll do is that it just merges just their outline. As you can see, just the outline of the combined shape. So I can delete this one now. So you can see it just merges their outline together. We can head over here and increase the size of the outline as big as we want. So yeah, so that's that about the Pathfinders. We have learned how to weld, that is join two or more objects together. I've shown you how to trim, to remove an object out of the second one. We have shown you how to do the intercept, that is trim out an intercept from two or more objects or shapes joined together. We have shown you how to simplify, how to do the front minus back, back minus front, and we have also shown you how to create boundary, that is merge only the outline of two or more objects or shapes joined together. Alright, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comment section below. So this tool that we just talked about, the Pathfinder, this is a very important tool because it will aid your designing process when we talk about more tools in the future. That's that, and I will catch you guys in the next. Peace out.